think the signature of the Ant-Man movies are family. It's the thing that kind of separates them a little bit from some of the others. One, the titular hero, and I love saying the word titular, is a parent. That is different than some of the other Avengers. The relationship between parents and kids is really at the forefront in the strength of family. I think that in Quantumania that exists. And maybe people have been hearing that this one is very different, and it is true. It is epic in scale, and we've got a real big baddie. And it's opened up to this insane, intense, and crazy world that looks different than the first two. But the ideas and the themes and some of the humor and all of the stuff that existed in those other Ant-Man movies, I think is in this one too.
When we shot the first Ant-Man, you know, Scott Lang was an ex-con who was down on his luck. He'd made some bad choices, but he was really operating outside of the Avengers. He was really playing in the margins. Now, by the time we're in our third Ant-Man movie with Quantumania, he's a full-fledged Avenger. And in fact, he's written a book about the battle with Thanos and his rise to becoming a hero. But now we're gonna put him front and center in Quantumania. Ant-Man and Wasp are the first Avengers to face off with Kang the Conqueror. So it's been fun to see Scott Lang move from someone who was outside of the Avengers to now being front and center.
Cassie's relationship with her dad, Scott, is kind of like tumultuous at first. You know, she is who she is, she knows who she is, and he doesn't know who she is anymore.
I just think you should get to have a normal life.
Dad, a guy dressed like a bee tried to kill me in my room when I was 6. I've never had a normal life.
He's got to be reintroduced to Cassie and who she's becoming. In this movie, the heart of the story is a father and a daughter reconnecting. I like to jokingly say it's like a road trip movie. Father-daughter trip through the quantum realm, and they're learning about themselves all over again. They're making up for lost time, and I can really relate to that, and I think a lot of people can relate to reconnecting and making up for lost time. She's kind of lucky that she gets to hang out with her dad, even though she kind of unlocked the biggest supervillain of all time and everything is her fault. She gets to reconnect with her dad, so that's the plus side of making a huge mistake.
I think Scott's role or feelings about being a superhero have changed since the first Ant-Man, and that he's accepted it now. You know, at the beginning of the first Ant-Man, he had no idea about super suits or being he didn't really know what the Avengers were. So he was a regular guy. You know, a regular guy just getting out of jail. And now, he's grown up, he's saved the universe, he's missed 5 years, so, I mean, a lot's happened to this guy. And as a result, he's gained knowledge. So when we start in Quantumania, Scott he's doing all right. He's taking a little bit of a victory lap. He feels good because all that stuff is in the rear view mirror. And now he finally gets to do what he wants to do, which he hasn't been able to do for the last 8 or 9 years, which is breathe, relax, and spend some time with his daughter. And that lasts for about 5 minutes.
You know how dangerous the quantum realm is. We all do, Mom. Nobody's going to the quantum realm.
The Pym, Lang, Van Dyne family end up in the quantum realm because Hank and Hope have been toying with new quantum technology with Cassie. Cassie has grown up in this incredible family of scientists. She's very curious. She's been doing her own experimentation, and Hank and Hope have really encouraged it. They've seen no reason not to. And unfortunately, she's created a Hubble telescope type two-way radio with the quantum realm. Some other energy force comes back through this two-way radio and enters the room and starts sucking the entire room, including the family, down into the quantum realm with it.
Early on, when we were doing the very first Ant-Man movies, and we had this conversation of like, what if you did just keep getting smaller and smaller? Like if there wasn't a regulator on the belt and you could just get smaller and smaller and smaller until you were in some completely strange landscape in an unknown universe. And what if it was just an unknown universe? Like could that exist? Absolutely could. Maybe we're in a quantum realm right now on terra firma, and everything out there is somebody else's just, universe under someone else's fingernail. I mean, this is the whole thing about science. This exists. This is real, folks. So, the movie takes place underneath the fingernail.
I think going into any of these movies, the biggest thing you want to do is surprise the audience. The worst thing you can do is to bore an audience or show them something that they've seen before. So as we took this movie and our characters into the quantum realm, I really wanted to finally present the quantum realm in all its glory. We dipped our toe into it in the first movie and a little bit more in the second movie, but this time the bulk of the movie takes place there. So We were able to work with a team of incredible visual artists and, of course, visual effects artists to really bring the quantum realm to life. So I think that's something that, as our heroes find these unexpected characters and situations down there, we're going to take the audience down with us. And, you know, we shot the movie in large format IMAX, so creating that world and all the crazy inhabitants of that world was one of the biggest things that hopefully the audience will be thrilled with.
Holy, that guy looks like broccoli.
I would describe the quantum realm as the opening of new possibilities. We have the multiverse already, and essentially there is no distinction between the difference between a universe that is out there versus a universe that is in here or in there or around us. There's just this infinitude of possibility that if you go into the quantum realm, any which direction, and direction doesn't exist really in that space, but in any which way, you can encounter something never before conceived of. Could be literally anything. So once you open up one space, which is in the quantum realm, you've opened up every possibility for the Marvel Cinematic Universe to go wherever they want, whenever they want, however they want.
You're an interesting man. Scott Lang.
It was a big challenge, which I was really excited to bring to the MCU, to create Kang the Conqueror in the movies. And fortunately, we cast Jonathan Majors in the role, and Jonathan is, he's a force of nature. We needed someone to play Kang who was a physically imposing character. He's a villain who has dominion over time. He's a time traveler. He doesn't experience life in a straight line. He sort of lives these multiple timelines, and he's a kind of a broken man, a man who lives outside of time. So we wanted to make him the most powerful villain that Scott and Hope have ever come up against. And also we kick off Phase 5 with Kang the Conqueror. And one of, I think, the unique things about Kang is he's battling our heroes, but we come to find out he's also at war with different versions of himself, his variants.
This is a supervillain that is first and foremost flesh and blood. That is spooky because you can relate to him. The other thing is he's seen everything. He knows everything. And it is that amount of time and his relationship to time that makes him that cunning, which gives him that much uncomfortability for the things he's seen, you know, and he has opinions on it. He has feelings about that. Imagine having feelings about not just your life, but hundreds of thousands of millions of infinite lives. All of that emotion, all of those thoughts, all those dreams and nightmares, all in one individual. That person is extremely dangerous and is not to be reckoned with.
How about some music?
And in that moment, all I could think was, how did the Hulk turn me into a baby? Will I be a baby forever? Am I the Hulk's baby?
Dad, are you listening to your own book?
But I was ready for anything.
No, that's
Steve and
this
I
is the radio.
over that.
Turn it
It's
off.
so weird. Something's wrong with this switch. It won't turn
I
up.
said turn it off.
What's that? Turn it up? All right.
Cassie Lang is all grown up, and I describe her as impatient, open-hearted, and ambitious. She's seriously ambitious. She's got a mind of her own now. It's been a while since we've seen her, and she's been through a lot. You know, her dad's been gone, and she had to make a choice, and she chose to look out for the little guy. She was a hero in her own way. Even without the super suit, I think that she just fights the good fight. You can feel that. And in this movie, I hope that audiences feel how much we wanted to show that. Her heart is huge, and just kind of like what a mess she is, you know? She's tripping over herself and kind of a klutz, just like me, kind of a dork. But I think it makes for an interesting character because no one just wakes up a superhero. I mean, maybe some do, but Cassie Lang definitely doesn't just wake up and know how to save the world.
I don't know all of the ways that Hope is using the PIM technology for humanitarian efforts, but I do know that one of the things that we talked about when conceiving these and sort of trying to establish who she is now and what she's up to was that she was creating tiny little communities so that we could deal with both the housing crisis and global warming. Because if our homes take up less land, if our homes take up less energy, if people take up less land and energy, then ultimately there's more to go around. You know, one blackberry could feed an entire community for breakfast. And so that's one of the ways that I know that Hope has been using Pimtech to try to make the world a better place.
I don't know who you are, but you've made a big mistake, okay? I'm an Avenger. I've called the other Avengers.
You're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?
What?
They all blur together after a while.
So Kang the Conqueror is a very formidable villain. I think we've all seen clips of Jonathan Majors without a shirt on fighting somebody in everything he's been in. He's tough. He's an amazing actor. He's in incredible shape. And he's stepping into the shoes of Kang the Conqueror, which are big shoes to fill. Kang is actually, I believe, tougher than Thanos, who's no slouch. And he has variants. He can go through multiple timelines. He's a tough guy. And does Scott Lang have a chance? Well, you'll have to see the movie to find out for sure. But I sure like that it's the fact that Ant-Man is the one that's gonna go up against this guy. Because you know what? Ant-Man's probably the toughest Avenger. And I think everybody agrees with that, right? Right? No? No.
You thought you could win.
I don't have to win. We both just have to lose. I'm sorry, Cassie.
Do yourself a favor and pick up a copy of Look Out for the Little Guy. It'll change your life. Can I say that? No? It might change your life.